Good Sunday evening, YouTube. How you guys doing this evening? Hey, Jessica. I hope you guys have had a wonderful post-Thanksgiving weekend. I know that many of us have to go back to work as well as school tomorrow, and I hope you have a smooth transition out of the holiday back into the tedious world of work and you're on time. Yeah, you're on time. Work and school. Okay. So I was sifting through the videos today, just pretty much listening to a whole lot of different videos, and I ran up on a couple of videos that I paid particular attention to. One of those videos, Hey Mimi 126, was Lex Mac TV's video. She did an interview with a lady named Elaine. I can't remember her last name. She is a domestic violence victim survivor. Her interview was wow. It was jaw dropping, and she is truly a phenomenal woman. Hey Elaine, how you doing? I got your message, but no, baby, I don't give out my email address. It ain't nothing personal. Those are just one of the boundaries that I set for myself on YouTube. Hey Cloud, I hope you don't be upset, but yeah, I don't give it away to anybody. But I was just speaking about your story. Like I said, you're a phenomenal woman. You are awesome. And God bless you. And I'm sending prayers and positive energy towards you and your family. Thank you so much for joining me, Elaine Sutherland. I thoroughly enjoyed your testimony, and I'm sure that, like I said, you will never know how many lives that you probably have saved, just by sharing your testimony on this internet, because we never know who's watching. So that was one of the video, guys. And good afternoon, everybody. Elaine, once again, Cloud. Hey, Cloud. Snazzy girl, Keitra, how you doing? Mimi, I'm glad. Hey, Lex, I love the interview. Lex is on it too. I was just sending everybody to your channel, Lex, so that they can watch the interview that you did with Elaine. And I was just saying you did a phenomenal job, an awesome job. You guys never know, how many lives you could save, because you never know who's listening in the bushes. You know what I mean? You never know, who's just hoping for a way out. A lot of people think, hey, Lady Tia, a lot of people think that they're going through this alone and they're the only ones that's going through this, and they may not know how to find a way out of domestic violence. They might be blaming themselves, for the situation, but love don't hurt. You know what I mean? Love don't hurt. But a lot of people can be, could have on a lot of blinders because of love, especially women. If you've got children by these men and you think that you might want to stay for the children, if you go to Lex Max TV's channel and listen to Elaine's testimony, you maybe perhaps will be rethinking staying with that abusive partner because you have children by him. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say about that, because y'all really should go watch the interview. I'm like, oh my goodness, you know what I mean? Oh my goodness. Now I've heard stories like this before, because I once worked with domestic violence victims and survivors, and just like, wow, you know what I mean? And so anyway, yeah, that was an awesome interview, Lex. I'm so proud of you. Awesome interview. Awesome of you to share your testimony, Elaine. Okay, guys, that's one of the videos I saw that were awesome today. And the next video that I saw is on a channel by the name of Dawson Speaks, and I'm gonna play the audio of that video for you guys here in a little bit. It is also a word of warning, I mean, for a lot of people, black women, black single mothers that have sons that are looking towards the church in the form of guidance for their children, for their sons, because the father's not involved with their lives. You know what I mean? Not only the church, but other mentoring organizations like the Boys and Girls Club. This interview is powerful, and because it is coming from a man, the man speaking, the content creator that is speaking about this story. I heard that video about that too, Lex. What that Betty person did, how she disrespected. But I'm glad you peep game about her long ago, and I'm glad that everybody's peeping game about that troll. Because I told you child, I've spoke many times about those particular trolls. You know what I mean? And so So yeah, hey through process. Hey everybody, if I haven't spoke to you, hey. So anyway, I'm gonna play audio for you guys because this right here, this is awesome. And I'm gonna play this audio because it is a warning to a lot of women that rely on the church, like I said, when it comes to guidance, in particular guidance for their sons. You can't trust anybody with your children, okay? And for that reason, and many other reasons, I want to share this audio with you guys because a lot of people are bound, especially women, bound by religion, and because they are bound by religion, they are afraid to speak ill of the church, even though when they have been assaulted or mistreated in some kind of way. Okay, and we know that the church, the true church, resides in you. Religion is religion and snakes and demons. Those are the only things that are inhabiting these brick and mortar churches these days. Okay, this content creator is calling it a den of iniquity, and that's absolutely what it is. Okay, because the spirit of the church is in your temple, and that temple is inside you. That temple is you. Okay, but people are so bound by religion that they are scared, afraid to speak up, even when themselves or their children are being harmed. You know what I mean? And so you have to be mindful of this, and it's particularly prevalent in our community. Okay, so just like I really appreciated Lex Mack's interview with Elaine Sutherland, just like I appreciated Elaine Sutherland's testimony, because you never know who it can save, who was listening in the bushes and didn't say a word. You never know whose life that's going to save. That is why I'm sharing this audio of this video with you guys today, particularly single mothers, okay, that are dependent on the church. Okay, because like I said, at the end of the day, the church dwells within you. You are the true temple. Okay, it is your works that are going to be judged. All right, so I'm going to play this video. I'm going to tell y'all the title of the video. First, I'm going to read it. And just let me say, too, that when I go back and forth, okay, the title of this video is titled Turned Out. Why is the church silent? The title of the video that I'm going to play, the audio that I'm going to play for you guys, is titled Turned Out. Turned Out. Why is the church silent? Okay, and I mean, it's so, oh my goodness, it's graphic. But we all know that because of COPA, we have let the world know that most of our channels in this sector, my channel in particular, I have let the world know that my channel is not geared towards children. Okay, but viewer discretion advised still when I start playing this audio. But first, before I play this audio, I wanted to read a little scripture if I could find it, because a lot of us, like I said, are bound by religion. Okay, when I speak on my channel about religion, much like the content creator that audio I'm going to play for you guys, Dawson speaks, I am not bound by religion. I am a spiritual person. You know that when I'm speaking in religion or reading a quote from a Bible, it is simply to reference something that I am going to say, because I am more spiritual. I have sense of I've never been afraid to question. You have so many people in our community that are even afraid to question the word. But the word, the Bible, is a book of allegory. Okay, it is meant to give you life lessons. Okay, but if you want to truly understand the word that is in the Bible, you have to search and you have to figure out a way to decode that Bible, decode some of those meanings. But when I reference the Bible, like I'm going to do now, it is for a lot of people. Thank you, June. It is for a lot of people that take the Bible as if it is the actual word of God. It is not. Okay, the Bible was created by human beings. Okay, human beings are born in sin. We put these pastors and these evangelists and these prophetesses, all these people with these titles. We tend to, some of us tend, especially in our community, we tend to put them on a pedestal. And so when they fall short of the glory of God, we are afraid to speak. Even then, even when they know that they are doing wrong, we are, afraid to speak simply because they are at the head of the brick and mortar church. Okay. You do not have to worship a church. You do not have to worship any man. You are not supposed to worship a church, a brick and mortar building. The church, the brick and mortar building, is simply there to fellowship with like-minded people, people that believe, in the things that you believe in as it pertains to religion and other topics. Right? That is a brick and mortar building. It is not nothing to put on a pedestal. Okay. Neither are the people dwelling in that brick and mortar church. Okay. The pastor, the first lady, the prophetesses, the deacons, do not put them on a pedestal because we all fall short of the glory of the Most High God. We were born in sin, all of us, even pastors. I was called by God. Now, how exactly did he call you? Did he call you on the phone? Did he send you a DM? Did he send you a text message? Did he write you a letter? How exactly did he sit down at your table and have a cup of coffee with you? Did he tap you on your shoulder in Walmart and say, hey, I am calling you? Okay, so you have to be mindful of things such as this nature. Okay, and we are crippled and we are putting our children as well as ourselves, many of us, in harm's way because we are afraid to speak of those that we have put on a pedestal. Okay, so and I side out anybody that goes around saying I was called. God called me. Really? How? Can you explain to me how? What method did he use, honey? But anyway, I digress. Let me read you. Let me, that was a little sarcasm. I apologize, okay? But I'm on one, okay? About this article, it had me flustered, it had me bothered and bewildered, okay? In a bad way. So anyway, let's reference the Bible, which is a book of allegory. It is not the actual word of God. He did not come down and spit on every page of the Bible and say, put this in here. Okay. He did not do that. He did not write it himself. It is not of his own hand. Can you identify his the way that he writes? Okay. Can you identify it? That's all I want to know. All right. It don't make sense to me. But anyway, anywho, I'm going to be reading from the book of First Corinthians, chapter 3, verses 9 through 17. Okay, because this is leading up to this audio that I'm getting ready to play for you guys. This is putting it all into context, in my opinion. Okay, in particular, something when I said that we or the true temple of the Most High God. Thank you, Robert J, for the super chat. Thank you. Great day in the morning, preach. Thank you, Robert J. I appreciate that. So let me read this for you guys. And once again, if you follow along, it's the NIV version, First Corinthians chapter 3, verses 9 through 17. Okay. So and it goes as follows. I'm sorry, chapter 9 states that. For we are co workers in God's service. You are God's field, God's building. Let me read 9 again. For we are co workers in God's service. You are God's field, God's building. 10 says, by the grace God has given me, I laid a foundation as a wise builder, and someone else is building on it. But each one should build with care. 11 says, for no one can lay any foundation other than the one already laid, which is Jesus Christ, which is the Most High God. Because we know that I have spoken about the consciousness of Christ. I'm not talking about that deity that they made into flesh and hung it on a cross. Okay, and said he died for your sins. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about a consciousness of Christ. Okay. 12 says, if anyone builds on this foundation using gold, silver, costly stones, wood, hay, or straw, 13 says, their work will be shown for what it is. Pay attention, y'all, because the day will bring it to light. It will be revealed with fire, and the fire will test the quality of each person's work. Okay? The fire will test the quality of each person's work. 14 says that if what has been built survives, the builder will receive a reward. 15 said, if it is burned up, the builder will suffer loss, but yet will be saved, even though only as one escaping through the flames. All right. 16 says, don't you know that you yourselves are God's temple, and that God's Spirit dwells in your midst. Let me read that again, okay? 16 says that don't you know that you yourselves are God's temple and that God's Spirit dwells in your midst. All right. 17 says, if anyone destroys God's temple, 17 says, if anyone destroys God's temple, God will destroy that person. For God's temple is sacred. For God's temple is sacred. And you together are that temple. All right. And I wanted to read that for you guys to put this story, this true crime Sunday story in context. Okay. Because what this ex-pastor did was destroy many of God's most innocent temples. Okay. That is what he did. But his buildings will be burnt and they will be tested. Okay? You best believe that. All right? I'm just saying. So anyway, guys, let me play this little audio for you guys. And because I don't want to make this too long, but I had to read that so that you guys could put this story, this true crime story in context. Okay? Because he is destroying God's temples. Okay? And he is one of those people that have been placed on a pedestal, one of those flesh and blood human beings placed on a pedestal, put over children, you know. And I want y'all to read this and I want y'all to listen to this and we're going to come back and discuss. And I want you to tell me just how he went about defiling and destroying God's most innocent temple. Okay? Just hold on a minute. We're going to play this right now. And once again, this audio that I'm going to play for you guys, I hope that you guys will go check out this content creator's channel. The name of the channel is Dawson Speaks TV. He has many, many stories concerning the brick and mortar church. The title of the video is titled Turned Out. Why is the church silent? Okay. So anyway, here's the audio. Let me know if you could hear it. If you could hear it, hit the 1. If you can't hear it, let me know and I will be more than happy. Yes, Dawson Speaks, Lady Tia, and I will be happy to turn up the volume. Dawson Speaks TV, that is the name of it. And thank you so much for saying that, Robert J. Okay, here we go. Hey, Jessica B, how you doing? Thank you. Okay, here's the video. Here's the audio, guys.
A former church pastor was sentenced to 40 years in prison after pleading guilty to inappropriate activities involving a minor. Pastor Andre Allen Thorpe, 36 years old, pled guilty to production and possession of explicit videos and images of a minor. According to the U.S. Attorney Robert Higdon Jr., Pastor Thorpe abused an underage boy from 2013 to 2016. At the time, Pastor Thorpe was also a leader of a church theater group. That's where the two met. Investigators said that Pastor Thorpe used drugs and manipulation to groom and control the young boy. The boy's family even moved out of the state in an attempt to get away from Pastor Thorpe. But in 2015 and in 16, twice the pastor did this, Pastor Thorpe arranged to get the boy back to North Carolina where he could take advantage of him. Wow. Now I'm going to let you all watch this video and I'll be back with the rest of my commentary. And you all know me, I'm Dawson, and I won't hold back.
He groomed and pretended to mentor vulnerable children. Instead, they say he sexually abused children. Today, Andre Thorpe was sentenced to prison after pleading guilty to several charges in federal court. WRL's Amanda Lamb was there and reports on the details revealed in court. Cameras are not allowed inside federal courtrooms, but I wish we had a camera in here today. The judge and the mother of the victim had such powerful words for Andre Thorpe. This is the mother's statement. She was very emotional as she read it, but she talked to us afterwards and talked about the pain that Thorpe caused her family, her son, and the communities he served.
Thinking about all the stories of all the young men and women that trusted him and he tormented their lives.
Andre Thorpe is accused of sexually abusing children for 2 decades in his role as a pastor and community volunteer. Desambre Pierce met Thorpe at church in Durham in 2014. He took an interest in her 13-year-old son. When did you start to think something's not right?
When my son's whole attitude and personality began to change, when he became a whole different person.
Pierce says Thorpe kidnapped her son from her home in Georgia, where they moved to get away from him. Raleigh police found Thorpe with the teen. Luckily, RPD was able to recover him and charge him initially with some crimes that could at least get him some of the attention of the authorities.
I had a flood of emotions in my heart and my mind of hatred, anger, disappointment, because I trusted him.
Under a deal, Thorpe pleaded guilty to child pornography charges and was sentenced to 40 years in prison. Pierce posted this photo of Thorpe on Facebook expressing relief, but there is still pain.
Even though I had found my way back to religion, my son hasn't, and it has taken away just his childhood.
In court, Thorpe apologized and said the victim was like a son to him.
For him to even stand in court and say that my son was like a son to him, a child to him. And what type of parent are you?
The judge had strong words in the courtroom today. He said he felt like he was in the presence of pure evil when he looked at Andre Thorpe, and that he had an obligation to protect the public from this man. Amanda Lamb, WRAL News, Raleigh. One of the more upsetting details, Thorpe had his name tattooed on the victim's arm. His mother said he was branding her son for life. Well, he is now 19 years old, and she says he is slowly recovering from the abuse with the help of therapy.
All right, y'all, let's go in.
Let me pause it for a minute. Did y'all hear that? Oh my goodness, I cannot imagine. That is why I read the First Corinthians chapters that I read to you guys, especially verses 16 and 17, because he was destroying God's temple, and he did that for a couple of decades. And on another note, he was given 40 years federal time. Federal time is day for day time. It is not cut in half, and hopefully he won't get out to see the light of day again. Okay, so that is one thing that I was happy to hear, because he was indicted in federal court. So when they say you got 40 years federal time, it means you got 40 years federal time. Yes, he was. Snazzy Girl QI says religion is supposed to save and not abuse or destroy. You're absolutely right, QI. That's why I read that chapter that I read in the Bible, because a lot of people take the Bible that like it is the actual word of God instead of a book of allegory. And a lot of people are afraid, even to this day, to say any wrong thing about the church, have any argument, or feel disgruntled in any way about the church, and they are even afraid to speak out when things of this nature are running rampant in the church. Okay. No, that I agree, Jessica. Our children ain't even safe in church. Not only are they not safe in church, they're not safe in school. They're not safe in church. They're not safe nowhere. That's why you have to be vigilant. You have to be OCD when it comes to protecting your innocent children. Do you see what I'm saying? And so that is why I want to share this video. I seen a lot of you guys saying that you love Dawson. I'm glad that a lot of us are listening to Dawson, but there are many of us that don't listen to anything but videos in this sector. And so I wanted to share this sector with this video, with as many people as as I could, so that you may be aware. Because a lot of us still go to these brick and mortar churches, and our children their temples, okay, are being destroyed. All right, by those that are supposed to care for our children and rear our children, okay, and teach our children to be, happy, productive members of society. But that is not going on in these dens of iniquity, okay? And so I agree, Claude. Claude says the church is too busy being all inclusive. I absolutely agree with that, okay? And so let me finish this video, because I want to let you guys hear a little bit of this brother's commentary as well. a lot of people, take heed to things, in particular when they are said by men, even in today's time, as opposed to when a woman is speaking on it. So, but his words are so powerful and on point. I wanted to share his words with you guys. So let's listen to what his commentary, Dawson speaks commentary about the news report that he just played. Okay, so let me play that now. All right.
Now, during his sentencing, Pastor Andre Thorpe apologized to Judge James Dever and the boy, who is now 19 years old, for his actions. The boy was special to me, he said. I looked at him as one of my children. The judge rejected Pastor Andre Thorpe's apology, however, saying that parents don't do this to their children. And I think what the judge should have said is that parents are not supposed to do this to their children, because clearly, if we look at many cases around the United States of America, we can see where parents have inflicted this type of abuse on their children, or have subjected their children to abuse by family members or other people in the community, and did not report the abuse. Also, officials say that Pastor Andre Thorpe has been identified as a suspect in other cases involving underage minors, similar to this one, but this is the first one where he was convicted. Wow. Officials also said that Pastor Thorpe was affiliated with several churches in the area. He met his victims at church and during his involvement with the Boys and Girls Club of Durham. Now, you all know what I'm going to say, and obviously it's what many of you all put in the comments when I talk about different cases like this. Where was the discernment? That's what everybody's going to say. Because if you all look, as I pulled out some pictures, and this man was also involved in the arts. He loved music. He loved singing. He loved praise dancing. He loved preaching. He wanted to do something in the arts as well. And if you look on his Twitter, that's what it says. He was aspiring for this. And if you wanted to book him for all these different events and stuff like that, you could. And my thing is that he was able to go to many churches in that area and perform and be a part of conferences. And no one could pick up that this man was involved in this stuff. No one. All of these, and look at this, all these prophets and chief apostles, and I'm the prophetess to the nation. You're the prophetess to the nation, and you can't see you got a pedophile in your church.
Amen.
There's a pedophile in your city. Come on, y'all, let's be real. I'm gonna make you all think. You all know that my show is a YouTube show for thinkers. We don't spill tea. We don't sip it. We eat truth over here.
Amen.
Lauryn Hill had a phrase years ago, and I think it was one of her CDs. She said, fantasy is what people want, but reality is what you need. We are not hiding our heads in the sand when this stuff comes up. This is not stuff from 15 years ago. This is stuff that happened recently. This man was sentenced about 2 months ago, but this happened between several years from 2013 all the way on up to I think about 2017. This man was allowed to do this to this young boy, like so many of them are doing in the church now. And when we talk about it, y'all tell me and other YouTubers we're going to hell though. They raping the children, they passing out STDs, they're sleeping around on their wives and husbands, they have community penis and community vagina, they're doing all of this stuff in the church, but we're going to hell for telling y'all to watch out when y'all go in there, because everybody you sit next to and I feel the spirit and oh Lord, that everybody who does that don't mean they're a child of God. I'm going to hell for telling you that every man is jumping in there and saying, I want to be I'm a man of valor. I'm this, I'm that. That man of valor can also be doing other men. He don't want you. He just going to use you as a beard. You get mad at me. It's not my desire for you to get HIV or no other STD. But some of y'all so silly in these church, and I'm getting to his mama in a minute. I ain't going to go too hard on her, but I'm going to get with her. Some of y'all are so silly and y'all run after these men so blindly. And do you women, I'm talking to the women, and especially black women, I want y'all to wake up.
Amen. Wake up.
This is November 2019. It's the 41st anniversary of the Jonestown Massacre. And I told y'all on another video who died the most, who was murdered the most in that massacre. Black women.
Come on,
who makes most of these Christian churches now, especially the black ones, black women. Taking your children there, you're taking STDs from these niggas, And then you all get mad and want to write 15 books. Oh, 10 things to watch out for a man on the down low in the church. You know why he on the down low? Because some of these men in the church messing with them as the little boys. But you all don't want this. You don't want this kind of truth. Y'all want to talk about the housewives. The hell with the housewives. How's that helping your life? You can't be a wife because you living vicariously through the housewives, and the men in church don't want you for a wife. No wonder you got time to write all these books. 13 things to watch out for, sister. 25 things to watch out for. No, watch out for yourself and watch out for your children. And don't quit going to these churches. Look at the kind of men they producing. This what y'all want? You seen the mama saying, we trusted him. And how quit giving your trust to these men and women in the church. Some of the most broken, bitter, evil people are in churches.
That's right.
They're in open society.
That's right.
Give your trust to God. Stop trusting these people. Please stop trusting them. Please. Oh, I just need somebody to talk to. I just need a friend. Jesus has been the best friend I've ever had. If anyone should write the story, my life story, it would say, what's that song? Jesus is the best thing. Talk to y'all be lying, man. How can Jesus is my homeboy. Jesus is my best friend. You don't steal away and talk to Jesus. You got to always be in front of the prophetess face, the evangelist face, running to everybody conference. And you don't know what these people doing at home. You don't know. Some of this stuff is a gimmick. They get y'all in just to get y'all to give them money. And then we find out they been cheating. They living alternative lifestyles. They got diseases. They depressed. They suicidal. Oh, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it. Let God help me. Yes, I am. I'm not like these other bloggers who bought by pastors and stuff. You can't do that with me. No celebrity ain't buying me. I get on them, the bloggers and the celebrities. My hands are free. That's the problem now. Everybody's slipping everybody a check so nobody won't tell the truth. And you know who suffer because of that? Y'all, the people in the pews, the people in open society who don't have the status or the platform that many of these individuals in the church have. Y'all are the ones who suffer. Now let me get on the mom real quick. Let me talk about this because I know some of y'all say, "Oh, Dawson, you sound angry. You sound mad." I'm not. It's passion. It's just I just don't understand how we can have all these the fivefold ministry and all these gifts in the church and all this stuff. And it's aggravating. Everybody wants to talk about going to this dimension and we got to get in this and we got to get in the face of God. All this time y'all been in the face and in prayer rooms and 48 hours of prayer and all this stuff. And you mean to tell me God ain't dropping none of this in nobody's spirit that this stuff is going on in churches? That you don't know that your husband is cheating on you until you go to the doctor and the gynecologist or your primary physician has to tell you that. But you in the face of God, see, y'all miss me with that stuff. I'm so churched out. Y'all gotta miss me with that stuff. When people come talking that nonsense to me, I look at them. And hopefully from once on my face, they know to get out my face with that nonsense. Because how could you be telling me that you're in the face of God? You go to all these prayer services, you're fasting, and God, you mean to tell me, God, you're doing all this stuff, and God didn't love you enough to tell you that your husband was cheating on you? God didn't love you enough to tell you not to take your children to the choir rehearsal or to the AIM convention or all these other things where people get turned out at. You mean to tell me God wouldn't show you that, but God can show you everything else about everybody in the church and everybody in the world and who going to hell. And you saw hell in a dream and you saw heaven in a dream, but you couldn't see that your children were being raped, molested. You couldn't see that your spouse was cheating on you. But you have all these spiritual gifts. Miss me with that. For real. Now, let me say something here about the mother, Desambre Pierce. Now, she said in the news clipping, and you all heard her, she said, even though I have found my way back to religion, my son has not, and it has just basically stolen his life. And my thing to her would be, don't find your way back to religion. Just have a relationship with God. Have a relationship with your creator.
That's right.
All that finding my way back to religion. And, just have, because a lot of times I don't believe you got to go to church to have a relationship with God. I don't believe that.
That's right. And
as I said before in this video, and I will stand by it, I don't care who says what, some of the most the meanest, evil, heartbroken, broken down people are in church. They're in church and they project that stuff onto people in the pews. Seriously. And so you don't have to go in there and get this type of abuse. Because in many churches, they all, well, the church is a hospital. Everybody's able to come. So you going to let men like this continue to come into church and mess over the children? Y'all going to let women who have issues come in there and with a Jezebel spirit and mess over the people in the congregation, and no one says anything because, everybody deserve a second chance. Miss me with that. Y'all are sitting back and watching people die literally in these churches, and you all are using scriptures and phrases, all these spiritual phrases to justify it and hiding things that are going on in people's life. And I'm not talking about the mom. I'm just talking about church people in general, especially these people in leaderships in churches. Stuff like this is going on. And you won't address stuff like this. You won't address it. There have been cases where men and women like Dawson Pierce have come to people in the church when this has happened to their children, or somebody made advances at them, and they told them in the church, keep it quiet, we'll handle it as a church family. And they didn't handle anything. And y'all sit back and wonder why people don't attend church and think we're the cause of it, bloggers and people who speak out about this and the news people. No. We're telling people when you go into these pretty much dens of iniquity, make sure that you protect yourself and your family, because I wouldn't be looking up to none of these people to protect me.
No,
that's just my thought on my own platform. That's what I said. I mean what I said. Because if I did, why do I continue along with other people to report stories like this? And keep in mind, I don't report every week. Dawson, I am sorry this happened to your son. I hope you all find the healing that you need, and definitely continue to keep your son in therapy because he's going to need it. Now, the mother went on to post on her, I think it was her Facebook page, when Pastor Andre Thorpe was caught. She posted this on her Facebook page. Today is the day. My heart and mind is all over the place. I have done nothing but pray for this day. Sentencing hearing in Raleigh, North Carolina. Justice will be served. And Dawson also went on to say, it took a few days to post this status only because I wanted to calm down first to ensure that I don't post out of uncontrollable anger that was consuming my heart and mind. Now that I have calmed down somewhat, I know this needed to be posted. Now, let me read this particular paragraph. I'm not going to read everything she wrote because the post was long, but I want every parent, every guardian to hear me on this. She said, the way that this sick so-called pastor prophet manipulated my child and so many others is stomach turning. I regret the day that I allowed him to mentor, or better yet, even talk to my son, because he has damaged my son and my family in unimaginable ways. He preys, there we go, P-R-E-Y-S, on single mothers so that he can get close to their children. Let me say that again. He preys on single mothers so that he can get close to their children, especially their sons, by pretending he cares and wants to teach them how to mime and praise dance in church. He's a liar and a snake, and my prayer is that he stays in jail for years to come. Andre's first court appearance date is in Raleigh in 2 weeks, and I can assure you that I will be there when he walks from the jail into the courtroom so he can personally see my face.
Wow. Okay. And this is why what you guys have just heard, this is why I want to play this audio for you guys, because they are preying. There are predators. Okay, pedophiles, hebophiles, and Lex Max, she was mentioning something about sex trafficking. All of this stuff is going on in this den of demons. Okay. And a lot of people, because they are afraid, primarily a lot of people, I was raised in a church. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm from the South, for goodness sake. I'm in the middle of the Bible Belt, for goodness sake. Do you see what I'm saying? But even though I was raised in a church, I still had a grandmama who was a bona fide Christian woman. She was also dedicated to her spirituality as well. Okay. And because of that, because of those spirituality as well as religion, I was taught both of them. I was also taught to go out and seek my own truth. Do you see what I'm saying? You never let anybody control you by religion or anything else. You seek your own truth. Okay. It is on you to figure out that you have a personal relationship with the Most High God. Okay, nobody else can tell you how to worship, praise, pray, or anything else. Can't nobody even tell you that there is a God. You have to know that for your own self. Okay, you should not put anything that bleeds like you on a pedestal. Okay, because we are all born in sin. We are born in sin. We gonna die in sin. Okay, that is not for us to put any other human being on a pedestal. I have told you guys so many times. I am not impressed by anything walking on two legs and breathing and bleeding like me. All right, I am not impressed. We all know this. All right. And I say that, and I don't say that lightly. I don't say it boastfully. I say it because I know that it is truth. Okay. And so this man, I appreciate Dawson Speaks because there is a certain thing, a little thing called righteousness. Okay. Now I am not even talking about those that call themselves righteous. I'm talking about righteousness. There are those that believe that they are righteous, then there is not righteousness. Okay, Dawson, he is righteousness. I consider myself to be righteousness because no matter how much you try to silence me when I am speaking about our Most High God, I simply will not be silenced, even including speaking out against the church because I am not impressed. All right. We don't advocate for ourselves, in particular in this community. We don't advocate for our children. We don't advocate for ourselves. We don't advocate for our families. You know what I mean? And moreover, we've seen the results of not advocating for our children, in particular our men, our women too, but in particular our men in this community, because they are taught to be strong and silent. Don't complain, don't cry, don't fuss, stand up and take it like a man. And because they have been, silenced in that way by many of us, many single black mothers in particular, we see what that has produced, just like Dawson said. And then you run to the church, that brick and mortar building, you run to this church, to help you raise your man, to help you raise your son. And do you see the kind of things that is going on in the church? That is why he titled the video what he titled it. Turned out, why is the church being silenced? Do you see what I'm saying? And you don't even need a book like a Bible, or you don't need any religious direction to tell you what is right and what is not right in this world. Okay, don't let nobody trick you, because you know in your heart when you're doing something wrong, whether you feel like you're doing it wrong or not, you know it is wrong. You know when a thing is going against the natural order of things. Okay, you know when things are not natural. All right. Toxic masculinity and toxic femininity as well, QI. They are both a danger to this community. Okay. And so thank you, Red Legs Panties. I appreciate that. Toxic masculinity as well as toxic femininity. Because like the man said, that brick and mortar thing they call the church, that holds the sickest people, the vilest people, and they do it in the name of the Most. They do it in the name of Jesus. Okay, they spew out all these things. They choose what to embrace, and they choose what to cast out, and they bend and they shape that word into whatever it is that they want to bend it and shape it into be. And because a lot of us don't think or afraid to think outside of the box, outside of what they're saying, you know it's ridiculous because you're scared to think any kind of way other than what they tell you to think. Okay, I've made videos, QI, concerning feminine and masculine energy. Okay, toxic masculinity is not the only downfall of this community. Toxic femininity is as well. And like I said, people know what right from wrong. You know when a thing goes against nature. Okay, a lot of things go against nature. All right. A lot of things go against the natural order of things. All right. And you don't need a Bible or a book of religion to tell you what is out of order. That is why I mean what I mean by toxic femininity as well as toxic masculinity. Okay? Because we are set. Did you know that human beings are the only animals in the food chain that use sex for pleasure instead of only using sex for procreation? Okay, so when you get all of this stuff going on about LGBTQ and all of this and all of that, that goes against the natural order of things. Okay, now a lot of people ain't gonna like it, but it's the truth. Okay, human beings are the only animals in the food chain that use sex for pleasure instead of only for procreation. And when you're doing things that go against the natural order of things, dysfunction and toxicity sets in. And that's the truth. All right? And you don't need a book or a church or a pastor or a prophetess to tell you that. Okay? And I'm just saying. And that's just the truth. And that's just how it is. Whether you never read a book of the Bible or stepped inside of a church, whether you do or don't believe in God, okay, nature is all around you and it is in front of your face and it is ever present, okay? But because man is born in sin, he wants to bend God's will, okay? He wants to bend his will and shape his will into what he wants it to be, all right? And it's just a fact. Now, you don't have to believe in the Most High God. All right? You can look at nature and tell how things are supposed to be. All right? Because there are a lot of people believe in nature. A lot of Egyptians, like on a side note, believe that the sun, the actual S-U-N, was God. And because in the Egyptian dynasties, the later Egyptian dynasties, a lot of them worshipped the sun. That sun, that S-U-N God, was taken out of context and turned into the S-O-N God. Okay, the Son of God, i.e. the Jesus. All right, you see how that works? That's religion. Working opposite of nature. That is what that's all about. All right? Okay? And I understand if you disagree, QI, and we can agree to disagree. You know what I mean? But this is just my truth, and I can only tell my truth my way. You tell your truth on your channel your way. But over here, this is my truth. All right? I'm just saying. No disrespect. But anyway, there go that phone again. But anyway, guys, I really want you guys to hear that. And I'm not going to dwell on that. But some things are such as they are for a reason. All right. And also, before I close, and then I want you guys to definitely go check out Dawson. Dawson Speaks. He has a lot of videos pertaining to all the crimes that occur in the church, the grievous crimes that occur in the church, especially pertaining to single black mothers. There are a lot of people in the woke sector that blame single black mothers for everything derogatory that's going on in this community. That is not the case always. What about the daddies? It takes two to make a baby. All right. I'm just saying. Absolutely, Lady Till, you're absolutely right about that. Less than 24 hours. You're right about that. Because the sun is always rising on some part of the earth. You know what I mean? So I agree with that, Lady T. I sure do. But they even manipulated that. You see what I'm saying? You want to, like I said, people, man, human beings want to bend things to their will as if they are gods. A part of the problem that we have, particularly in this community, in particular, I'm speaking about this black community because I am a black person. I have never been an Anglo or a Italian or a anything else. I have only always been black, okay, from birth. So for that reason, I try to primarily use this type of commentary commentary, use the example of our community in this type of commentary because I have always been black. Okay, incidentally. All right. But many of us in this community want to bend and shift a lot because of ego. A lot of the times, a lot of us have been assimilated into other mindsets, and for a whole lot of other reasons, we want to bend the will of the Most High God to fit our own narrative. Okay, but things are such as they are for a reason. I don't care how much you bend it. I don't care how much you shake it up. I don't care how much you want to shift it to fit your narrative. They are such as they are. Okay, and so it just is what it is. That's right, blessed the sun god Ra. You're right about that. And so, anyway, it is just what it is. All right. And for that reason, like I said, we no longer have a foundation. It just everybody did people. Oh, I'm getting a blessing from God. Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, God is blessing me with this material thing or that material thing or this, that, and the other. Which God is really blessing you with that? Because to me, people are preaching the only religion that's flying these days is the religion of Satan, of Aleister Crowley, that do as thou wilt mindset. So who's really blessing you? Where are your material blessings coming from? Because material things are not true blessings. Okay, a true blessing, in my opinion, now mind you, this is my truth, a true blessing has nothing to do with materialism. A true blessing is a peace of mind, okay, and the grace and mercy of the Most High God. Like every morning he wake me up, that's a blessing. That's truly a blessing. When he makes a way for me to put food on my table, clothes on my back, and shelter over my head, okay, that is a blessing. I don't have to go out of my way and be broke and go paycheck to paycheck because I'm trying to keep up with the Joneses, okay? The Joneses ain't blessing me with nothing. All right. My true blessings come from the Most High God. And things are such as they are, whether you want to make them that way or not. Okay. That's right, Lady Tia. I can survive in the right mind. That's right. To be in my right, me being in my right mind right now, that is a blessing. Okay. That's right, June. Life, health, and strength, and peace of mind. Absolutely. Amen. You got that right. See, because you know what, then I think it is so wrong the way that this word is rearing our children. And some things have been set forth on our people for a reason. Okay, and we've talked about this many times. And it's unfortunate. The way the things that our young people are willing to accept because they have somebody has told them that this is good and this is the right way to be, or this thing is in style right now, you are destroying your own community. Okay? For a whole lot of reasons. And toxic masculinity and toxic femininity are at the top of the list. Okay? And another thing that it says in the good book is, my people are destroyed by lack of knowledge. Okay? Now, there's some real truth right there. Or willful ignorance. Let me add lack of knowledge as well as willful ignorance. All right. He doesn't supply your wants. He supplies the needs of day-to-day living. I know that's right. Red. And it's absolutely the truth. I absolutely agree with that right there. Do you see what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't like it when you tell them the truth and they try to stamp out what the truth is because it doesn't fit their narrative and they don't want to feel convicted. Do you see what I'm saying? Don't feel convicted. Just do you. Do as thou wilt if you want to. If that's the philosophy that you want to have for whatever reason. And a lot of people also do what they have to do to survive because of trauma. Instead of dealing with the trauma, you try to assimilate yourself around the trauma instead of facing it head on. And that's unfortunate. But we know that in the Black community, not a lot of us like to speak on mental illness, and even more of us don't want to talk about our mental health. Do you see what I'm saying? We don't want to take care of our mental health. We don't want to talk to nobody about the problems that are going on in our family or in our churches or in our schools, especially in our homes. Okay? Because what have we all been taught? What go on in my house, stay in my house. Well, sometimes what go on in your house, stay in your house. That's what's killing you. That's what's driving you insane. Okay, because even though that you may have become an adult, you still are afraid to speak on that trauma. Okay, and for as long as that trauma is silencing you, that trauma is destroying you. Okay, that trauma, whoever it was that traumatized you or did wrong to you, is still controlling you like you was a little child because you won't speak up about it. All right, but you don't have to live that way. You don't give nothing power over you, nothing other than the Most High. That's all that has true power over you. Yes, robbing you of your sanity, robbing you of your soul, destroying your temple like this pastor, this ex-pastor, what was his name? Andre Thorpe. Okay. Robbing you of your peace of mind, of your joy and peace, because you don't want to speak about it. And the mama in the story, what was that's right, Bless. What was disturbing to me was she said, "Well, I done found my way back to religion. My son still da 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 da." Honey, find your way back to God. Sidestep religion and embrace spirituality. Okay, embrace your relationship with the Most High God. All right. Know that it is okay to speak up when somebody has done you or yours wrong. It shouldn't have took her days to make a post or speak out. I had to let the anger pass me by. Why? I was angry for her son. I was angry at her for saying that. I ain't got to let the anger pass me by. When somebody done something to me or mine, I got to embrace it so I can do something about it. Okay? I'm not letting nothing pass me by when you do something to me or mine. Okay? Because I am not a victim. All right? And I advise whoever it is that's listening to this not to be a victim. Don't let your silence keep re-victimizing you. You know, speak out and say something. You don't have to be a victim. It is not necessary. Now, don't ever let anything control you. Nothing other than your Most High God. All right? That is it. That is all. I'm just saying. Anyway, that is the reason why I want to share this video, this audio of the video with you guys. The video is even more powerful than just only the audio. I couldn't play the video. I could play the audio. Do you see what I'm saying? And like I said, and when this video uploads, I am going to post a link to Dawson Speaks channel as well as this video. And hopefully you guys will go check out his channel. He has several videos speaking about the dysfunction of the brick and mortar church. Do you see what I'm saying? And so yeah, a lot of people are scared to speak about it. Do you see what I'm saying? Because a lot of people are bound by religion. And so that is why I wanted to play this video, for you guys. But I thank God that a lot of people in our community are now starting to speak out. Do you see what I'm saying? Lady Tia said, "Hey, Gemini love." Lady Tia said, "I'm calling everyone out. The church would be all over social media." You got that right. You got that right. That's what his channel is about only. Yeah. He's got that's righteousness speaking right there. Do you see what I'm saying? That's for righteousness' sake right there. His channel. I love his channel. I sure do. Uh-huh. But if you learn anything today, just know that you don't have to be a victim. That is why I love spoke about those two videos that I spoke about. Lex Max interview with Elaine Sutherland and Dawson Speaks video. And I'm going to put the link in the description box to the Dawson Speaks channel. And you guys, please go check out Lex Max interview with Elaine Sutherland. You never know who life you can change just by sharing your testimony, just by speaking out. Do you see what I'm saying? Just by saying something, just by doing something. Do you see what I'm saying? You don't never know whose life you're going to save. Even if it's one person, you have done more than enough. Do you see what I'm saying? Jessica said, and the serpent led Son of God to the top of the mountain and said, "If you worship me, God, All this is yours. It's already yours. Claim it, child. Okay, come on now. Come on. Thank you, due process. Jessica said, "I'm glad you shared this. This is good awareness. Yeah, I wanted, people to be aware. You don't have to be silent. You don't have to let these people prey on your children. You single mothers, you don't have to lead them in harm's way, and you're only trying to get some help for them. You see, I'm like as black women, we know in particular, you don't always do what you want to do. You sometimes you do what you have to do, and what you have to do is protect your children. Okay, and if you are a single mama, if you are a single mother of the with a son, we can never fully understand what it means to be a man. But you don't have to in your quest for trying to give them a strong male role model. Do you see what I'm saying? You just don't have to lead them to the wolves. Okay, to people that are preying on them, PREYING, seeking them out, stalking them out, to do harm to them, to destroy the temple. Do you see what I'm saying? And so that's why I mentioned when I think I mentioned toxic masculinity. There's also such a thing as toxic femininity as well. Do you see what I'm saying? And so yeah, because men aren't the only human beings that prey on children. Some of them, not all of them do. They are not the only ones. Thank you, Due Process. Dropped a little love in your Cash App. Thank you so much, Due Process. I sure appreciate you, baby. But anyway, for that reason, I want to share this with you guys. I hope that you guys got something out of it. I appreciate you interacting. I appreciate everything that you had to, say. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for listening. And go check out the Dawson Speaks channel. Go check out the Lex Mac video. We have to stop allowing ourselves to be victimized. Do you see what I'm saying? We have to. We don't have a choice. Because we as black women know, that 9 times out of 10, we are the only ones that are going to protect us, and our children. And our children. And you can only do the best that you can do. But always, always strive to do the best that you can do, especially as it pertains to your children. Because some of the stuff I have gotten a whole education on the social media. Some of the stuff that I hear, I ain't never heard of it before. Okay? Until I hopped on social media. I have gotten a true education on a whole nother level. Okay? On this social media thing, all right? And so social media allowed me to, give me something even greater to speak on. Because a lot of the things that I see on the social media, a lot of things that people attempt to normalize, a lot of things that come out of people's mouths, honey, I ain't never heard of some of this. All right, it just don't sit right with me. All right, and that's just me though. And I can only speak my truth. But some stuff, no ma'am. No ma'am, no thank you, no ma'am. Just because you can do it don't mean you're supposed to do it, okay? You got to use a little discernment about some things in this world. I'm just saying. So anyway, I got to get off here. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. I hope you guys appreciated my commentary. I hope you guys got something out of it, and if you haven't, hit the like button. Please consider hitting the like button. Please consider hitting the subscribe button. I appreciate it. Please go check out Dawson Speaks as well as Lex Mac TV for those great, very informative, life-saving and life-changing for some people interviews today. In particular. Lady Tia says organ taking has been exposed because yes, absolutely, Lady Tia. Trafficking, human trafficking. I see a lot of videos of young women, especially young black women, speaking on human trafficking. I saw Lex Mack saying something about human trafficking going on in the church and exposing it, and she didn't want to touch it or something like that. I was like, oh, child, I hope she does that video. But yes, a lot of that going on. I saw a video not too long ago about the, was it the AFAs, these sororities dealing with, human trafficking situations. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm like, what? Not the sororities. Come on now. Child. Not them Sadiddy heifers over there. Surely not. Okay. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here and let you guys enjoy the rest of your night. I'm gonna come back, and I hope you guys will watch this. I'm gonna do I think I'm gonna record a video speaking briefly about the COPA, the COPPA. A lot of people have been talking about the COPA laws, the new COPA, the COPA laws, or however they pronouncing it. On YouTube, things that are going to be, a lot of us have been hearing for a long time about these new changes that are going to start rolling out in December. But January is what you need to be watching out for. And so I'm going to do a video, a pre-recorded video, and post it. Hope that you guys, you subscribers and content creators, hope that you guys will listen to it. I'm going to try to put it in simple terms, okay? Simple terms as it pertains to this sector in particular. A lot of stuff that people may not realize. Okay, June, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to try to break it down as quick as I can. Just a few things that I think could impact this sector that people may not even be aware of as it pertains to those new COPA laws and stuff, that are things that are going to be happening to YouTube across the board. So anyway, I gotta go. I love you guys. I'm gonna talk to you guys later. Be looking out for that pre-recorded video. Do you see what I'm saying? Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy your day. Tomorrow, returning back to work or school or whatever it is you got to do. And I'm going to talk to you guys later. Love you guys. Bye-bye. Peace.